Hello GM gamers, welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play series. Here on the channel it's CoachFury. We are going to be looking at Draft Day Sports Pro Basketball 20 and carrying on with our Utah Jazz Let's Play series, where we had a off season of interest. We've just finished the draft, coming fresh off the back of our blowout loss in the championship game to the Philadelphia 76ers, and we just completed the draft. We managed to pick up Scott Skiles, a fairly good point guard, shooting guard for us, alongside Arjun Torrens, who we are probably going to cut because he's our second round pick and he is really not good. So I think we'll cut him at this moment in time. And we are in free agency today. So we kind of mentioned last time our plan is to go very heavily after Clyde Drexler, who is, where are you, Mr. Clyde Drexler? There you are. Who is basically going to feel a massive need for us at shooting guard, and he looks like he could become a real elite player in this league. No surprise there. If anyone who follows the NBA knows that he was a fairly good guard and scoring guard in the league. So we're sort of doing that. We're also going to try and see whether we can get Wayne Cooper, who is a really good defensive centre, as well, on a slightly less deal than we can obviously offer for Drexler. But before we do that, one of the things I've been mulling about off camera really is whether we start sacrificing some of these guys for cap room. So I'm looking at this at the minute and I'm thinking, if we can free up Hayes, Scottie, and not Stockton, and where is he? Wilkins' contract. That gives us another 12 million to play with this year, which could be really important as we look to build a rotation, really, to try and get some additional talent in. So I'm thinking about trying to package these three guys with our first round pick this year, because I think we're going to hopefully be in the playoffs and it's not going to be a high pick again. I'm thinking if we can package it together, we can hopefully dump their salary and we can throw more money into free agency. So I need to find a team with cap, and one of them I have found is the Milwaukee Bucks, who have 30 million in cap. So I'm thinking we just try and package these guys, Hayes, Wilkins, Scurry, and a first round pick this year. We'll try a second round pick this year actually first to see whether they'll just take that. Oh my god, they will. Look at that. That is amazing. That is crazy. Oh my god, Milwaukee Bucks, what are you doing? You took all that for a second round pick. Okay, fine. That's perfectly fine by me. I've got no problems with that at all. We're going to renounce your rights. That Spanish guy we took in the second round, and now that gives us a whacking $46 million to play with. So what that means, guys, is that we can find Cooper wherever he is, and we're currently offering him about 6 million. We can clear that contract. We can offer him 19 million. So do we want to just pay him, or do we want to look at someone else now? And we could look at Ralph Sampson. His durability is actually pretty good in this league. Not whether he's the right option to go with, I don't know. He not a great shooter though. That's one thing to say about him. It's like everything's inside the bucket, obviously. So whether we want to stay on Wayne Cooper and just go for him, or whether we go for someone like Ralph Sampson, who's a little bit younger, probably not quite as good a defender, but a much better scorer on paper anyway. Passing and handling looks very similar to me. Yeah, passing handling, probably Sampson's is slightly better. I'm thinking we just throw some money at Sampson, you know. I mean, I don't think we're gonna. Let's be honest, we don't need us Isaiah Thomas. We're not. Carroll is a little bit older, not quite as good a defender. Sampson's shot block is not that good. I mean, we can look at someone like Purvis Short, I suppose, but we don't really need him. I mean, other options, Moses Malone, but we're not going to be able to afford him anyway. What does Sampson looking like? He's going to go back to Houston. He wants 27 million. We can offer 19. I mean, we could try and see if we can get him, or we can go. Yeah, let's try. I mean, we'll sign him for 4 years. He's going to be good for 4 years. Let's see if we can entice him to come over to the Jazz. Let's advance the first day. Okay, immediately we've had 2 signings. Clint Richardson's gone back to the Dallas Mavericks, and Michael Ray Richardson, a guy I was going to target late on, signed a bumper contract with the Nets straight away. Okay, so Sampson and Drexler are considering offers. That's always a good start. Houston is still the top team here, though. What about Cooper? What's he? Utah. We're still the favourites there. Question is, do we? I think we'll give it another day. See what happens to Sampson. I think Sampson's going to go before Cooper, I think. Okay, so Isaiah Thomas, no surprises signed. James Edwards has re-signed. No surprises there. I think we'll keep going forward. I think as soon as Sampson signs, we then just cut chase and go to Cooper and just accept that we're not going to lose this one. But I think we keep going whilst Sampson is in there. Doc Rivers has signed a big extension with the team option for the Kings. Another guy who really performed well at the All-Star game in this last season. Come on, we really need Drexler. If we can get Drexler to sign, that's the main one. And then we can use the cap up on other things. Okay, no signings today. We're still going to pursue, I think, with these guys. I mean, Houston's still the top team, but you never know. You never know. He might choose to come and play for us. No signings again. It's nervous waiting now. There's Cooper. Who's the top lead in that? Still says we are. So I'm guessing no one's really offered him anything he wants. Julius Erving has signed a massive deal with the 76ers to go back. Wow. That's a big extension for a year. And then Tom Chambers has gone back to the OKC or Seattle Supersonics. Yes, okay, great news. We've managed to get Clyde Drexler on a 4-year deal. So that solves our main problem that we've had. Let's see if we can get Sampson now. Okay, Moncrief has signed with the Trailblazers. So a lot of these big names still haven't moved quite yet. Gonna all fall in one day, I reckon. Just hoping that Sampson falls before Cooper and we can chop chase. Okay, so it's a couple of big signings here. Mike Mitchell signed a 5-year deal with Spurs. Some big extensions being put out here. Moses Malone signed a huge 5-year extension. So did Mark Aguirre, James Donaldson, Darryl Dawkins. Some big extensions there. A lot of money thrown around. Come on. Let's get Sampson. If we get Sampson, that'd be awesome. Okay, Seedle Threats re-signed. Derek Harper's re-signed with the Mavs. Sampson's still considering our offer. Okay, Cliff Robinson's re-signed with the Wizards. Purvis Short has re-signed with the Warriors. Hinson's re-signed with the Cavs. And Thesis has signed. Kings have thrown around a lot of money this off-season. Okay, some other big extensions. Thurl Bailey, our guys signed a pretty bumper deal with the Trailblazers, so sad for us, but we knew we weren't going to be able to re-sign him anyway. We expected him to sign a sort of a big extension elsewhere. And it is now the 28th of July. We probably need to think about in a minute about whether we want to stop looking at our bench guys. Let's check Wayne Cooper. Denver's leading for him. I think we chop chase guys. I think we go for Wayne Cooper now. I think Sampson, we've given you long enough, I'm afraid. I don't think we're going to be able to get you. I think we just get Wayne Cooper. I'd be excited to get him anyway. So he's looking for 17.8 million over 3 years. So we offer him 18.2 over. Let's do it 3 years. Let's do 4 years, and we can put it as a team extension, team option. So hopefully that's enough to just get him sorted. Okay, so Sampson signed a big extension. We managed to get Wayne Cooper though, that's the main thing. So that was a good decision to change because we were offering Sampson about 80 odd million. So he's re-signed for a much bigger extension than we were going to offer him. Daryl Walker's gone to the Bulls. James Worthy's gone a tender offer. Same to Quinton Daly. Okay, so we've got to try and build this bench now. So what have we got in terms of positions? So we've obviously got sort of the front court sort of sorted. We've got backup point guard. We probably need someone at wing and someone at power forward. So what have we got left available? I'm thinking that we go for who have we got left? I think obvious one is probably Lister. We just throw Lister a minimum deal. I think that's a no-brainer. Just if we can make it a 2-year deal. I think we can probably go in. We can offer Hansen. We'll bring Hansen back. He was solid for a year. Ricky Green. Do we want to try and bring you back? I don't think we need you anymore. I think we'll throw you a minimum deal. We've got to use this mid exception though. That's the question. Where do we put that into? We've got Robert Reed. We've got Paxson. We can perhaps bring in. We've got anyone who's good defensive players. Anyone who's good at blocking? Ah, Terry Tyler. Yeah, you were good. You were good on the. Where were you last year? You were at Philadelphia. You were a good rotation piece in Philadelphia. We can bring you in on a mid exception. Absolutely. We can offer you 2-year mid exception. Player option. Let's do that. Okay, so what else have we got left available? Kenny Carr, yeah, we'll throw you a minimum deal. We might as well. Might as well throw these offers around, see what we can get really. At the minute, we just need to try and just build a bench back up. Robert Reed, you can have a minimum deal. Gene Banks, you were a good player last year. We'll give you a minimum deal. And let's see how that works. Heading over into end of July now. Only a couple of days left of free agency. Okay, so we managed to get Terry Tyler. That's good move for us. We lost out on Lister. He went for way more than we were going to offer him anyway. So Terry Tyler gives us a nice rotation piece in at the wing. We've still got a load of offers in for players. Danny Ainge, you might be an interesting option as well. Actually, we can certainly look to bring you in. We're trying to bring Bob Hansen, Mickey Johnson. You're probably past it at this point. Got anyone who's just a specialist blocker? That could be handy. Yeah, okay, you're not particularly great. No, I don't want to bring you in, Shays. Maurice Lucas, you can come in. I think you'll be okay for a year. Jim Paxson, did I offer you a deal? Nah, why not? Why not? I'll bring you back, Ian. See if we can get you over here. It's all about getting those minimum guys now, those bench pieces. If we can try and improve our bench from last year, that's certainly going to help us. You know, we had some injury issues last year. Okay, so we didn't get Paxson. He went for way more money. Robert Reed went for way more money. He went for the mid exception, I think that is. So did Brewer. Brewer went for a lot more money. Okay, so we do need to try and find a bit of a backup front court player now. Got anyone who's blocking specialist to be alright? You're a rookie. Undrafted rookie, Colt Stevens. Okay. Yeah, why not? Why not? I'll gamble with you. You can come in. Got anyone who's just a good defensive front court player, really? Who's a good blocker? Alright, I know I said Shays, we didn't really want you, but unfortunately, you're the best of a bad bunch now at this point. 2, 4, 6, 8. That clearly, we clearly need some bench players. Right, let's advance on. Come on, guys, we need some bench players to bring in. We can get Hanson back and Shays, that would be nice. Okay, so Jeannie Banks signed over the minimum. Danny Ainge signed over the minimum. I don't know where these guys are getting all this money from. Bobby Jones, you look like a pretty solid defender. I might bring you in. And you're not a bad shooter. Yeah, why not? Bobby Jones, you want to come in and just fill up a bench place for us? Okay, cool. So we managed to get Shays. We got Green back on a minimum deal. That's surprising. Jones, Lucas, Jones. We've got Colt Stevens as well, that rookie, and we got Bob Hanson back. Nice. That's all right. I'll take that. So that leaves us with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, or 12. I think we're full roster now, aren't we? I think we are. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 14. I think we could probably get one more guy in. Is there anyone else we really want who's left? Dal Ellis? Yeah, Paxson, you'll be a nice third string backup guard. I'll bring you in. I'll bring you in. Cool, nice, we got him. Okay, so I think that ends our free agency. I think we're in much better shape than we were this time last year when we started this Let's Play series. I think we've definitely upgraded this roster. Oh, there goes Dallas. He's got more money anyway. Okay, I think this is the last round of free agency. No signing today. No one signed last game. Okay, let's have a look at this roster. So I guess pretty happy with that. We've got John Stockton and Scott Skiles as our sort of main point guards. Then we've got nice supporting options in terms of Ricky Green, who still is pretty good. He's not a great defender. John Paxton as well can kind of hold his own. We've then obviously got our big major signing of free agency in terms of Clyde Drexler. That was a fantastic coup to get him. I'm excited to see what he can do in this roster. We then move on. We kept Bob Hanson, who was a pretty solid rotation piece for us last year. You know, pretty good off the bench. Dantley is obviously still here, so you know our main scorer last year. I think him and Drexler is going to be really interesting to watch, and I'm really happy that we managed to secure Terry Tyler as well, a really solid bench piece. You know, we've got the depth now this year. We've got Karl Malone, obviously, he's made a step forward. Maurice Lucas and Bobby Jones supporting him. I mean, probably Maurice Lucas is going to be the main one who comes in. I can't expect Bobby Jones really to play too much, but he looks like a solid defender. And then in terms of the centre position, look at this. We've got Mark Eaton, quality 7 foot forward, defensive centre, and not John Stockton, Wayne Cooper as well. So we probably have a really strong defensive unit out there. And then we've got Shays, who is going to sort of support them too. And then Colt Stevens, who we're probably going to send down to the D League. It'll probably be our first player we send down, and just see if we can get him to develop a little bit. I mean, he looks quite promising actually. He's his defensive ability is pretty good. He's a bit undersized for a centre, but we'll see. So I'm really happy with this. So last thing we've got is rookie options to do. I think we've done all of those because we only had Skulls to do. Yeah, cool. We've done all of his. So I think we'll just check the inbox. Rookie option deadline. Yeah, there are no other rookie options for us. Cool. Moving on to training camp. Advance button to set our training camp. Nice. Okay. So let's see what the AI suggests that we do. So team general, that works in all skills areas. Okay, so this is slightly different to what it used to be. It used to be basically putting in numbers to set this. We obviously want to... I'm fairly okay with that. Let's check the point guards. So we don't really want them doing any rebounding drills. We want them focusing on... Okay, you can scale these up. It doesn't really matter. Okay. Yeah, we don't want them obviously focusing on rebounding. I'm not worried about these guys working on rebounding. We also want to focus on that. You guys can do a mix. Forwards, you can do a little bit less on passing, a little bit less on handling, a lot more on defense. Same with that, that's okay. Individual players. So the ones I'm really want to focus on the UT. So no, you don't need to worry about post moves. You need to work on jump shots, outside shooting, and agility. Drexler, what are you doing? You're doing a bit of everything. That's fine. I'm happy for you to do that. Where is Mr. Malone? No outside shooting, obviously not. Need you to improve that. Post moves, definitely. Why? We don't want any outside shooting from our big guys. Don't focus on any outside shooting. We don't need you to do that. No outside shooting. Okay, I don't know why Bobby Jones' outside shooting is so high. I mean, you could probably do that. Probably do a bit of that. Not on the outside shooting. Why? That's madness. Madness, guys. We don't want to focus on outside shooting for these guys. Oh, okay, I have to actually click save. Right, okay. This is going to take a little minute. Right, outside shooting, save. No outside shooting, guys. Yeah, I don't know why you want to do outside shooting. And Stockton, I was going to take all your post moves down because you don't need to worry about that. Focus on that and that. Okay, I think we're there. Let's run the training camp. Okay, we got some inbox news. Signed scouting points. Yep, we'll do that in a second. And signed D League. Okay, let's have a look at the scouts draft for next year, which looks the exact same as the previous one. That's different. Okay, maybe I guess that will change when we assign it in a minute. I've assigned the points. D League assign. Let's go to the roster. And let's assign you to the D League. And we'll advance. Okay, we got the D League draft or the G League draft. Yeah. I do love these presentation screens. They're so good. Even the G League, it gets you hyped up with the G League. So we're going to quickly just run the G League draft. We're not too worried about what on earth goes on here. We'll try and get through this bit. Try and get ourselves to the start of the season for the end of this episode and have a little look and see where they think we're going to end up. This is definitely a better improvement than the last version I played, where this D League did take like 10 minutes to load, just in terms of the actual picks. It's a lot quicker now. So that's the G League or D League done. The draft class we've got to quickly put in. We're going to use the default. So hopefully I'll refresh the draft class now, so we can have a quick look at that. I'm not actually too sure who's in this draft coming up. Obviously the last one was the Dennis Rodman draft, really. Jeff Hornacek as well. For Utah Jazz fans, if you're following this, he didn't end up with us. He ended up with the Cleveland Cavaliers. We didn't, unfortunately. Our great run and performance, we were nowhere near drafting him, so we had to sort of let him go. But I think we're in a good place. So let's have a quick look at the draft, actually. So scout the draft. Okay, yeah. Oh, this is the David Robinson Scottie Pippen draft. Oh, that's exciting. Oh man, if we could get David Robinson, that'd be amazing. Don't think we will, but who else is in it? So we've got Mark Jackson, Kevin Johnson, Horace Grant would be a nice piece. Reggie Miller. Oh, look at that. Reggie Miller's in this one as well. Oh, this is a much deeper draft than much more top heavy draft, I should say, than the last one. I mean, Robinson is a much better player than Dennis Rodman in this. Cool, good stuff. Nice. So we've assigned our scouting points, so that's good. I think we are ready for the first game of the season, which is coming up. We'll obviously do that next game. I think I've got to set rotations and things. But let's have a quick look in the league media and see where they reckon we're going to end up in the season preview. So this is the Eastern Conference. We don't worry about that. Western Conference. They reckon that we are the #1 seed heading into this year. Scott Skiles and John Stockton backcourt, which is interesting. No Clyde Drexler. They reckon he's going to come off the bench, which is clearly not going to happen. You don't leave someone like Clyde Drexler on the bench. Wayne Cooper in at sort of starting centre. Yeah, okay. Eaton and Cooper are going to be battling that out. Dantley in at small forward, but they reckon that we are conference rank 1. Last year we obviously were 14th in points scored and 2nd in points allowed. I mean, this is a much improved team, I think, and it's nice to see that we are reflected in terms of our #1 status ranking here. We have definitely improved this team. I think we nailed the draft in terms of getting Skiles so late on, really, picking him up at 17. I'm really happy for that, and you know, this man here in free agency was a massive coup for us. We just had an absolute result in terms of drafting him. So I mean, in terms of my outlook, I think what I'll do before the next episode is I'll set the rotations up and strategy, and we'll come back and we'll talk about that next episode. But I mean, initial thoughts are we're probably going to run Stockton, Drexler, Dantley, Malone, and I think we'll start with Cooper in a sort of starting centre, and then obviously the bench support will be Eaton, probably Terry Tyler, then probably a combination of Skiles and Paxton Hansen around there, sort of supporting the starting unit. Which I have to say that supporting rotation looks much better. When you compare it to last year, we had a lot of 1-star guys, really, pretty much coming off the bench. We've now got, you know, the likes of Tyler, who looks really good. He probably could quite comfortably be a starting small forward in a different team. You've got the likes of, we've still got Green, who was starting for us last year. I mean, that's the improvement we've made, that we've gone from having Green as a starting shooting guard to having this guy as a starting shooting guard. So, you know, much improved team. We are, according to the magazine, the favourites for the Western Conference. We'll come back next episode and we'll see if we can live up to the hype. Before we do that, actually, let's quickly just check the magazine and see who they have projected in terms of, yeah. Okay, so looks like the 76ers haven't changed much. They brought Irving back and Paxson was their sort of main signing. They haven't changed much of their actual rotations. So they still are the favourites in the East. supporting. And obviously you've got the likes of Larry Bird, Boston Celtics, but surprisingly, actually, the Chicago Bulls are now the third best team according to the magazine in this area. Michael Jordan is finally starting for them. I think he was coming off the bench last year, so they added Walker, Oakley, and I believe they added Brad Doherty as the rookie. Coming in out of the draft. That's interesting. Behind us, we've obviously got the Rockets, who pretty much haven't changed. The Nuggets, who have changed a little bit. They've added Lister, I think, but that's kind of it. They've got Lever as sort of their main guy. The Mavericks have jumped up massively. I think that's mainly because they drafted Mark Price, but he's not even apparently meant to be starting for them, so we'll see. But yeah, we're ranked number 1. Next episode, we're going to start the season. Who have we got first? So you guys can get excited about it. We've got the Kings first, so a team that spent huge amounts of money actually in free agency. They were one of the weakest teams last year. I think they only won like 3 or 4 games. So probably still going to be down the bottom. Yeah, but they did spend quite big. They brought Doc Rivers in. Lasal Thompson's still there. They drafted obviously Rodman, who's not starting because they signed Otis Thorpe as well. So we'll see how they play, but we'll be up against the number 1 pick from last year in terms of Dennis Rodman, so that's going to be exciting to see how he does. But yeah, lots of hype for this season. I'm excited. I think we are a much better team than the team that went to the finals, so I'm really hopeful that this can be the season that we make it happen and we bring John Stockton and Karl Malone that ring that they never got. But tune in to the next episode where we follow it along and see if we can live up to the hype.